They had landed. Not a single life lost, no systems failed, no malfunctions. The ship, stripped of excess AI influence, guided only by precision and instinct, had brought them safely down. What lay before them was not chaos, but calm. A horizon of unfamiliar beauty stretched out, deep skies, calm winds, and terrain untouched by time. Before even stepping onto the surface, protocols were activated. Perimeter drones deployed. Defensive turrets rose from the ship's hull, locking into quiet standby. Shelters were printed from reinforced alloys and bio-adaptable materials, strong enough to protect, flexible enough to adapt. Only then did the first human cyborgs step out. They had crossed stars, lost unity, lost history. But here, they found something rare, a second chance. The first step beyond defense was discovery. As the AI systems were gradually reactivated, they began scanning the surrounding terrain, measuring air composition, gravitational pull, microbial life, and the results were staggering. This planet wasn't just habitable, it was ideal. Forests of towering, fibrous trees stood rooted in nutrient-rich soil, stronger than steel but lighter than wood. The leaves weren't just oxygen producers. They released airborne compounds that enhanced cellular regeneration, like walking through a living medicine. Water was abundant, flowing through self-filtering river systems that never grew stagnant, never overflowed. But most unusual of all were the animals. Not predators, not prey. These creatures had no bones, no eyes, no clear origin. They moved like liquid muscle, smooth and silent, entirely composed of dense, consumable flesh. Almost like walking food sources, designed without fear or fight. One had died near the landing zone, possibly during descent. Its tissue remained fresh for days, unfazed by exposure or decay. A perfect, edible life form. No nerves, no pain, just sustenance. But there was something even stranger. There were no signs of aquatic creatures, no fish, no microorganisms beneath the water. And in the skies, nothing. No birds, no insects, no flying life at all. The ecosystem thrived on land alone. The AI confirmed what the eyes already suspected. This planet didn't evolve by chance, it was built. But by who? And why? Those questions would wait. For now, shelters became homes. Structures were reinforced. Life settled into routine. Yet, with every new discovery, the mystery grew deeper. This place was safe, too safe, almost like it was waiting. As the explorers moved farther from the landing site, their footsteps led them to something unexpected. Structures, not natural formations, not eroded ruins, but deliberate, geometric buildings, tall and precise, built from a dark, bark-like material. It felt organic, yet processed design. Woven into the walls were faintly glowing veins, crystals, blue and glassy, humming with potential. No one had mined anything yet, but even without tools, the scientists could tell these veins carried current. Electricity, or something like it. These buildings weren't just shelter, they were components, each one a node in a larger system. Scans revealed embedded receivers and transmitters, dormant but complex. A communication network, disconnected. It hadn't shut down from damage, it had been turned off, and yet, these places didn't feel ruined. They felt ready, as if they were built to be reused. So the explorers got to work. They reinforced walls, converted interiors, used existing tech to rig power, storage, life support. Labs were set up, command centers brought online. These silent buildings became the first foothold of civilization on the New World. But something lingered in the silence, an awareness that these structures weren't built for them. The ancient structures offered shelter, but not answers. To uncover more, humanity began to dig, cautiously, layer by layer. That's when they discovered the first anomaly. Buried deep within the ground were stones that shimmered faintly, cool to the touch, but softly vibrating. Tests revealed something impossible. These rocks stored electricity. Not from the sun, not from machinery. It was as if the planet had grown its own batteries. And moving near those glowing ores were the creatures. Long, smoothed, and blue, like oversized earthworms made of soft plasma light. They slid through the tunnels without fear, their bodies pulsating in rhythm with the stone. They weren't dangerous. They weren't edible. But wherever they moved, the electrical charge grew stronger. These creatures were living conduits. They didn't consume the power, they carried it, wired into the planet like veins in a body. Mining efforts accelerated. Soon, more was found. Stones that released breathable air when ground to dust. Oxygen, hydrogen, and other stable elements. Compressed into solid form, ready to be harvested. The planet wasn't just habitable, it was generous. Power, air, shelter, water, food, all within reach. Humanity expanded. Underground tunnels became transport lines, safe houses became cities, energy from the ores, air from the dust, light from the creatures, hope from the unknown. They still didn't know the name of this world, but they knew. They were no longer surviving, they were building. The caves gave more than just shelter. They gave understanding. Humanity, now fully adapted to their new home, began refining the ores. Electric stones were harvested and embedded into walls, powering light grids and tools. Oxygen rocks, when ground to powder, replenished breathable air in sealed environments. And the glowing worms. They weren't just passive creatures, they were part of the system. Every time they passed near the electric ores, the rocks sparked brighter, reactivated as if recharged. No one fully understood the biology, but the results were undeniable. A new power grid formed, clean, renewable, and deeply integrated with nature. Transport tunnels expanded. Homes carved into caves evolved into complex underground cities. Underground life thrived. The planet had not only accepted them, it had supported them. Eventually, a name was chosen. Not scientific, not political, just a single word, carried from one settlement to another. A name born from warmth, survival, and something rare in deep space. Belonging. They called it Plasmora,